Mic check. 1, 2. Mic check. 1, 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live stream. How are we doing today? It is cold and snowy and slushy here in Chicago. I am not a fan. I'll just say that right now. I tried to go for a walk this morning and I probably almost ate the concrete a handful of times. It is not, I forgot how bad it could be, but the black ice is out there right now. Anyway, it's nice to see you all. Welcome to another live stream. Hopefully everyone is doing pretty good. Today is Tuesday, November 11th. Today is day 737 of my journey. I have a lot to talk about today. I'll be honest with you, I'm not feeling the best right now. And it isn't that I'm feeling sick or anything like that, but you could probably tell from the title of this live stream, it's going to be very related to how I'm feeling. And I just called it When Life Happens, Damage Control 101. Because life be lifing, and even though I've had a good swing of days, I've had some rough days as well. I see here in chat, T-Love says, sorry to hear that, Jerome. It's 71 here in Cali. Thank you for making me jealous. I'm just kidding. Although I am jealous of the warmer weather. Elle says, we've got flurries here in New York. And I saw that as well. I was just actually coaching someone before this live stream who lives in New York, and I was checking their weather there as well. Those flurries that you have are maybe some of the flurries that we got here in Chicago yesterday, but we didn't get as much snow as they had predicted. They had predicted over a foot of snow. We got somewhere between like 4 and 6 inches. So it wasn't awful, but this morning, because now the snow has been packed down and people don't always shovel the sidewalks here in Chicago, there's a lot of black ice. And even on my walk to the office today, I almost ate concrete. So you know what? I'll tell you this. When I moved to the Philippines, that is one thing I will have to not worry about. Although, if you all saw, the Philippines just had a super typhoon come along their way. So that might be a little different dealing with the weather in that regard. Before I continue on, though, before I talk about damage control and what I mean by damage control, I want to take a moment and say hi to people here in chat. Kevin, Maggie May, Deja, Tommy, Lori, Mandla, how are you? Nice to see you all. As I'm scrolling down here, Ian, peace to all. Sleck, Writer family, Aisha, Happy Bunny, Andrew, welcome. Goddess of Wands. Who else is in here? Did I say Shauna already? If I did, that you got it twice. Ronnie, Randall, Mrs. Angeles, Trumpet, Cap Rising, put on the tiara. Sydney, Jennifer, Leanne, Classy Rebels, A, Willis, Mike. So many of you are here today. Almadas, Margaret from Facebook, T-Love, L, Letty, K Betters, AH. Did I say hi to you yet, Miss Peaceful One? I don't think I did. Miss Peaceful One. Is that everyone? I think that's everyone. Gia, welcome. Nice to see you all. So this is an accountability live stream. If you're wondering what this is, if you're new to being here, an accountability live stream is a live stream where I share with you what my fasting journey looks like over the last over the last 737 days. Hi, Cobra. I see you in here as well. An accountability live stream is a place where I will share with you what my health and wellness journey looks like, where I'm at fasting wise, where I'm at weight wise, how I'm feeling mentally, what I might be currently struggling with, what things are going good, and what things are going bad. The one thing that you will notice from me is I don't leave out even the bad parts. And if you notice people in chat, people are also sharing their story. And the one thing that I try to promote or encourage is to share the good with the bad. And I'm not asking for you to share the bad just because, but to share the bad even if you are in a position where things aren't going the greatest, because it's me telling you to show up for yourself no matter what. And in that case, right, when you are in a position where you're having a bad day, I want you to understand that those are the moments where you need to show up the most. It's really easy to share when you're having a good day. It's really easy to share when things are going well. You want to shout it from the rooftops. I get that. I understand that. But it's also really important that when you are struggling, you don't just walk away from it completely, that you show up for yourself on those hard days, because that's when you learn the most. That's when you learn about yourself in ways that you haven't before, because you haven't given yourself the opportunity to do so. I'm seeing this in chat here. You know what? I did try something different today. I got a notification, Miss Peaceful One, about how you can now change the stream to be vertical or horizontal, portrait mode or horizontal. So I don't know how that's affecting. Elle says it's in vertical mode, which makes it harder to chat. So if this is making it harder to chat, then maybe next time I'll make sure I keep it the way it normally is. I thought I would try something different for at least people on YouTube, because it gave me that option. Let me know what that looks like for anybody who's on YouTube watching it in mobile, if you prefer it the old way, or if there's something that fixes this. So keep me posted. I'll make sure for next time. So, Tanya, nice to see you. Welcome. Goddess, yes, it snowed 2 days ago. And not 2 days ago, it snowed yesterday, about 4 to 6 inches. Wasn't the worst, but wasn't what I expected. So, okay. With that being said, what I like to do is I like to take time and see how people are doing. When I talk about me sharing my journey and me going through my quote unquote nerd stats, this is also an opportunity for you to do the same. So as I scroll back up here in chat, I will share how other people are doing. Kevin says here, morning, all 61 hours into a 155-hour fast. Congrats, Kevin, on pushing another fast. I mean, you've been doing so well pushing these 155s. I'm keeping myself busy with decluttering and demo for a remodel project. I feel like Shauna today. I know Shauna had mentioned doing a lot of homework lately. So I get it. Doing a lot of physical activity, putting your calories to use. It's good exercise for sure. Congrats on 61 hours in. Hope you're feeling well. Hope you're able to push another 155. I'm pretty certain that you will. I mean, it seems like you have been 99% of the time, if I remember correctly. Thank you for sharing with us, Kevin. Deja says, last week was hard. I went up 5 pounds because of heavy training. Started creatine, women things, and added in carbs. Tracking calories and hitting workouts, so I know it's just water. Back down to 166 now. And I love that Deja is sharing this because this is something that's really important that many of you need to understand is it's not always what the scale says. It's not just about the scale. Deja has been on a different journey at this point, maybe not fasting as much long or not fasting as long as she initially was, but starting to pay attention to strength training, taking creatine. That's something that I started taking recently as well. Taking creatine will have your body hold on to additional water weight. It's not a bad thing. Holding on to water weight isn't the worst thing in the world. But even for Deja to say women things, that's also where people will hold on to water weight. Does it mean that you are failing? No, it doesn't. It means that you're holding on to water weight. Does it mean that you're not losing excess body fat? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means you're holding on to water weight. Does it mean that you're not adding muscle? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means you're holding on to water weight. You could still be doing all these other good things for yourself instead of just worrying about what the scale says. Tracking calories is a good way to keep yourself aware. Hitting your workouts is a good way to work on your other weight loss lever. So I'm glad that you shared that with us. I'm glad that you are reminding others as well that it isn't just about a number on the scale, that there is more to it than that. Thank you for sharing with us, Deja. Mike just dropped a $20 super chat. Mike with the generous donation. Mike, thank you so much for the $20 donation. Thank you for your continued support as always. Mike says, hi, Jerome, checking in. I'm 40 hours into a 72-hour fast. Congrats, Mike. I love this for you. Staying strong, and it's helping me keep clear. Then I'll be doing ADF until my project is done. Finally getting better sleep, by the way. Mike, I love this for you. Mike and I have been working together for quite some time, and sleep has been one of the things that Mike has been working on. So I'm glad to hear that. I love that you're back into pushing a 72, that you're able to tell yourself, okay, I can keep going. I can keep doing this. Not every day is going to be perfect, especially with what Mike has shared with me. Mike has a lot going on. And for somebody as busy as Mike, sometimes it's hard to fit all these pieces together. But it looks like Mike is continuing to work on the fasting part, continuing to work on sleep, rest, and recovery. Also realizing that sometimes things are going to pull him aside and it might throw him off, but it doesn't mean that he has to turn around and walk away from it. So thank you for sharing with us, Mike. Thank you for the huge donation. Thank you for the $20 donation. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Mike. Thank you again. Okay, let me go ahead. I'll scroll down here. Make sure I don't miss any others. Maggie says, broke my fast today at 96 hours. Had a carnivore refuel. I like that. A carnivore refuel, and hit the timer for my next 95-hour fast. How was it, Maggie? How was the 96? Was it difficult? Did it feel good? Any issues whatsoever? Good luck to you on your next 95. Let me know how that goes. Keep me posted. I'm sure you will. Thanks for sharing, Maggie. Tommy says, sup, Jay Wright and my fasting peeps. Jay Wright, is that a play on words for something? I'm trying to put it in my head here if I'm missing something. Been at a stall for a few days now. Not sure why. Not bugging though. I trust the process will keep on my 23 to 36 hour fasts. The scale will give shortly, and it absolutely will. Again, a reminder for anybody reading this right now. Sometimes you might find yourself in a stall. Sometimes you might even find yourself pushing the weight up on the scale. Does it mean that it's time to throw in the towel? No. What it means is that you continue trusting the process, because if you're fasting, if you're eating right, if you're being aware of the calories you're putting in, if you are working out, if you're sleeping well, the scale will find itself going down. You are doing enough for yourself. You are putting good habits under your belt to say, I can't worry about the scale all day. Yes, I'll step on the scale. I'll track it. It'll be a good guide. Sometimes it's also a really good reminder to see how ridiculous that scale can be. I've been there. I know what it's like. The scale's been a little crazy to me lately. I'll be going through that in a minute. Tommy, thank you for sharing with us. And like you said, the scale will give shortly. You just have to keep practicing. Just keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for sharing with us, Tommy. Okay, let me scroll down here. Lori says, hey, everyone, I'm doing a 90-hour fast right now. I'm at 60 hours and feel great. Congrats to you, Lori. Lori has had continued success for a while. If I remember correctly, Lori, you've pretty much been on maintenance, correct? Any reason for the 90? Did you have a big refeed? I'm just kind of curious. I'll probably read about it later in chat. Thank you for sharing with us, Lori. Mandla says, hi, fasting fam, day 41 of my journey. It was an eating day, now 5 hours into the next 40 hours. The scale moved again, down another pound, bringing my total loss to almost 12 kg, 26 pounds. Congrats, Mandla. And if I remember correctly, for the most part, Mandla has just been doing ADF. And that's 26 pounds in what, 6 weeks? So every week that's around, I'm going to be really bad at math here. 6 weeks, that's about four-ish pounds. Yeah, a little over 4 pounds a week. That's huge to lose that much every week, finding steady progress every single week. And think about it like this. It's not just progress on the scale. Every day that Mandla shows up, every day that Mandla says day 23, day 36, day 41, Mandla learns about herself, learns what works, learns what doesn't, learns what to do when she might be having a bad day, learns what to do when she overeats one day, learns what to do when she might not fast as long and eat back-to-back days, but continuing to show up is going to show progress, is going to move the scale you want it to move towards. So remember, do not give up on your journey. Trust the process. Thank you for sharing with us, Mandla. Miss Peaceful One says, hi, fasting fam. It's good to read how everyone's doing. I'm 18 hours into a fast. Not sure when I'll break. I'll check back in later. I have a lot of work to complete before leaving today. Miss Peaceful One, thank you for sharing with us. I do believe you posted again, so maybe you're back. But congrats on being 18 hours into your fast. I'm sure you'll keep me posted on how long you go for. Thanks again for showing up and being accountable to all of us. Okay, let me scroll down here. Ian says, I'm 3.6 pounds down since that last live stream, which was 2 days ago, right? I live streamed on Sunday. Ian was up a little bit in weight. And again, when you trust the process, you will find that downtrend. When you trust the process and you continue to show up, you will start to work on your good, healthy habits. When the good, healthy habits become ingrained in you, when you do that, the majority of the time, the weight will find its way down. Ian says, I'm 3.6 pounds down since that last live stream. I did a 25-hour fast on Sunday and finished a 26-hour fast today. Kept my calories low, got my steps in, 14,000 steps per day. That's huge. That's huge. This is also, again, a reminder. Look at what Ian's doing. Ian isn't pushing a super long fast. You can if you want. You see people doing it here. Kevin's doing it. Maggie May's doing it, right? Even Mandla doing 40-some hour fasts. These are longer fasts. You can find success pushing longer fasts, obviously, but this is also a reminder that even doing something like an OMAD or doing 24 hours can still be beneficial if you can get your steps in, if you can keep your calories in check, if possibly your sleep is good. Remember, you need to work on every single weight loss lever to your availability. Thank you for sharing with us, Ian. Congrats. Good work. Peace to All says, hi there, fasting fam. I'm taking a short break from fasting and just doing calorie deficit. I'll know when the time is right to get back at it. And this is, again, a lot of good reminders here. Sometimes after fasting for long periods of time, we need a break. We need to take a step back. We need to tell ourselves, okay, right now, I probably can't do anything extended. Maybe right now, Peace to All is working on a 16-hour, maybe a 14-hour. maybe doing 2 MAD, eating twice a day, maybe even less than that. Some people can even eat 3 times a day, but that takes a lot of discipline as well. Fasting takes a lot of discipline. It comes easier to some, harder for others. And I'm the opposite. For doing a calorie deficit, eating every single day, even eating multiple times a day, that's hard for me. I haven't even figured that out yet. That's still something I have to figure out. And like Peace to All says, I'll know when the time is right to get back on it. For many of you, you have to think in that mindset as well. Sometimes it might just not be your time right now to fast for long. Sometimes right now, it just means keeping your calories in check. Or if you're like me, it's practicing damage control. What does damage control mean? It means that I might have a very hard time right now to keep my weight in check for various reasons that I will get into. But despite that, I will make sure that I still do the best that I can day in and day out to keep pushing forward. Thank you for sharing with us. Peace to all. Select says up 10 pounds from a week ago, breaking tonight after 27 hours, trusting the process. I'll get to my goal weight eventually, but trying to get the first half done fast. So Select, thank you for being honest and sharing with us about where you're at weight-wise. I'm curious, when you say you're up 10 pounds from a week ago, is there a specific reason for that? Are you up 10 pounds because you found yourself overeating? Did you find yourself binging? Did you find yourself in a bad spot? Or was it just weight fluctuation? And I know you probably know why, and you know what you have to do. I just want to make sure that if you find yourself in this situation again, if you did find yourself overeating, first of all, I'm glad that you were able to get yourself back at it, put yourself back into a fast. I just want to make sure you're not doing the all or nothing part where you're always pushing super hard. And then when you don't, then you find yourself completely reverting the other way. I'm not saying you are. I just want to get a little more insight. So please feel free to share with us, Select, because what I would love to know is what are your next steps? How will you make sure that if you did put on 10 a week ago and it was a lot more than you expected, how will you find yourself mitigating that from happening again? Keep us posted, Slack. Thank you for sharing. Writer Family says, the new jeans I just bought don't fit. The hard part about being a woman are these monthly weight and water retention fluctuations. And you're absolutely right. I don't have to worry about this as much as other people do, especially when people hold on to water a lot easier than I do. I do hold on to water quite quickly after a big refeed, but I can only imagine when other things get involved as well. I think you also know, Writer Family, is that if they don't fit and you know it's mostly just water weight, it just takes some time. Don't forget, you can still keep working on making sure you're at a big enough caloric deficit to lose excess body fat, that you can still work on getting cardio in, getting your strength training in. Keep us posted, Writer Family. I'm sure other people are empathizing because they know exactly what you're talking about. Thank you for sharing with us. Aisha says, I'm almost 4 days fasted. Congrats, Aisha. It looks like you're back into it. I checked my weight log and realized I gained 30 pounds in 8 days eating back to back. I got back on track 3 days ago, released 20 pounds so far. My morning weight today is 184. And this is also a really good example of a lot of it just being water weight that we can put on, especially when you eat something that's super high carb wise. I don't know if this was your case, Aisha, but gaining 30 pounds in 8 days, we all know, unless you're eating tens of thousands, if not more calories, that you're not putting on 30 pounds of fat in 8 days. And then to be able to be almost 4 days fasted and lose the majority of that, that isn't fat being lost either. It's a lot of water weight playing games with us. Holding on, letting go, holding on, letting go. Thanks for sharing with us, Aisha. Congrats on being 4 days in. Happy Bunny says, I'm grateful for today's live. I'm grateful that you're here sharing with us. Happy Bunny, I'm 19 hours fasted. Yesterday, I broke 2 times and was having really hard food noise. I had tuna and rice and nori, like an onigiri. I feel good. I tried my best. And that's, for many of us, that's what it's all about, is just doing the best that we can for today. Actually, I'm really curious for many of you. Now that I haven't been streaming every day, have some of you found it a little more difficult to be as accountable? I'm just wondering if you have or you haven't, because if you have, I want you to understand the importance of accountability and how important it can be. Because I'll say this through my own personal experience. Now that I have not been live streaming every day, and I try to just put one day in between, it's been harder for me, especially on days where I'm not recording myself eating. It gives me a little more opportunity to eat a little dirtier because I feel like, oh, well, no one's going to be knowing. No one's going to have to see. And it really reminds me in my brain that the importance of accountability can really make or break your progress. So just keep that in mind, because as I am learning for myself as well, I know that it's really important for me to still be accountable and still find ways to be as accountable as I have been when I was live streaming every day. Andrew says, used my feeding window to get into the gym 5 times since Wednesday. Next fast starts later today. And this is Andrew sharing that when I refeed, when I eat, I'm going to put those calories to use. I'm going to take advantage of those additional calories. At least that's what I'm getting out of this, Andrew. I mean, please share with us otherwise. But congrats on getting into the gym. Congrats on working on something like strength training, just realizing that it isn't just about fasting and eating absolutely nothing and doing nothing else, that there is so much more to this on our journey. Thanks for sharing with us, Andrew. Goddess of Wands says, this is week 3 of fasting, or this is Goddess of Wands' 3rd week fasting wise. You'll have to remind me, what's your fasting protocol? What's the plan for the future, Goddess of Wands? Congrats on being 3 weeks in. I love that for you. Shauna says, got some life changes going on. Thanks for asking. Looks like some of you were talking to each other in chat, or with each other in chat, which I love, but I might as well read this as well, since it looks like an update from Shauna. ADF rolls on. Just broke 44 hours for a refeed. Going to have some homemade faves today. Congrats, Shauna, on continuing your journey. I mean, from what I've seen, Shauna has just been at it fasting wise, really focusing on strength training, working other levers than just the fasting part. Thanks for sharing with us, Shauna. Ronnie says, happy Tuesday, fasting fam. It's a fasting day. Had to flip my schedule due to blood work. I'm 16 and a half hours in. The plan is to complete at least 48 hours to get back on schedule with my original plan. And this is also, when I read this, Ronnie had blood work happening, so had to maybe change the fasting protocol. Nothing wrong with that. This is also where when something like this happens, when life is going to throw you a curveball, you have to roll with it. And you have to tell yourself, okay, what can I do? How will I work my way around this? And what can I do after? And that's exactly what Ronnie is sharing with us today. Thank you, Ronnie. Keep us posted on your plan and on your journey. Randall says, hello, everyone. Been gone for a minute. How have you been doing, Randall? Nice to see you. I'm back, took a road trip to ATL. That's awesome. I drove all the way hard to stay fasted for 13 hours driving alone. Flexible fasting. Okay, let me just see if I can read this right. So Randall, gone for a bit, took a road trip to Atlanta, drove all the way, and then tried to stay fasted for 13 hours driving alone. So just 13 hours straight driving. Is that what you're saying, fasted wise? But then I'm reading here, maybe you started doing flexible fasting. You're up 10 pounds currently on hour 36 of 72 hours fasted. Hopefully I'm understanding that correctly. if anything, what I get out of this is you tried to fast where you could. Maybe during this trip, you've had a couple setbacks, kind of put you up in weight, but it looks like you're right back on another 72-hour. Keep us posted, Randall. Thank you for sharing. Thanks for the accountability. Mrs. Angeles says, hi, everyone. Day 44, down 17.6 pounds. Congrats, Mrs. Angeles. 8 back-to-back days on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, gained 5 pounds. Again, this is life. Life isn't going to be perfect on your journey. You need to expect weight going up and down and up and down, and hopefully you'll have a longer streak of down days on the scale, and those up days won't be as frequent if you continue working on your journey. And I'm not just talking to Mrs. Angeles here. I'm just saying to anybody here watching. Currently 41 hours fasted. Congrats, Mrs. Angeles. We'll break tomorrow at 60 hours and do another 48 plus hours for the next week or two. Keep us posted. As always, thank you for sharing with us, Mrs. Angeles. Okay, let me scroll down here. Sydney says, tomorrow is my day 250. Only 1.8 kg to go until I've hit my goal. Congrats, Sydney. Sydney, if you'd like, can you remind us of where you were at 250 days ago? How much kgs you've lost since then? But I love that for you. And maybe if you'd like, share what your protocol looked like. Was it long fasts? Were they shorter? Did you incorporate any kind of cardio or strength training? I mean, sometimes I ask this so you can share with other people in chat and they can share, or they can see what you've done and see if that might encourage them to maybe do something similar or find out what works for them. Leanne says, hey guys, I've been doing awful these last 2 weeks. I just keep eating. I kept eating whatever I wanted and wasn't fasting. Nothing was wrong. I just kept eating. I don't know why, but I'm back on it. Just completed a 65-hour fast. First of all, congrats on a 65-hour fast, Leanne. So when you talk about doing awful these last 2 weeks and you were eating whatever you wanted and you weren't fasting, when you say nothing was wrong, I don't know why. The first thing that comes to mind for me is maybe you don't know why per se today or at the moment, but maybe this is just to remind you that it's possibly out of habit. Were you doing it because you felt triggered by something? Was it some kind of an emotional response towards something? Or maybe were you just truly hungry? And if you were just truly hungry, if you felt maybe burnt out from fasting an extended period of time, maybe that was it as well. Sometimes we get into this place where we don't want to fast for a long period of time, and instead we rebel. Instead, we say, I don't want to do a 65-hour fast. I don't want to do a 90-hour fast. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to eat exactly what I want to eat. And usually when we think that way, we're not even thinking about eating healthy. We're just thinking about ordering takeout or having food Grubhub to us. And so I say it as a stopgap. Sometimes if you are feeling that way and you feel like you're just eating day in and day out, like you say, you ate 2 weeks straight is my guess. Maybe by day 3 or 4 of doing what you were doing, maybe by day 5, it's like, okay, can I do something that isn't just one extreme or another? Can I put some mindful things into place? And even for you to say, I wasn't fasting, usually my response to that is, but you could at least hit a timer, right? You could at least say, hey, I'm going to hit a timer. We'll see how far it goes. And maybe even just hitting a timer and you looking at it when you want to break and you look at it and you're like, this is 13 hours right now. Maybe that might encourage you to say, well, if I'm at 13 already, I can at least do 16 before I eat. And when you do eat, you can say, maybe it doesn't have to be Grubhub today. Maybe it can be a better decision, whatever that might look like. Middle ground. I know it's not easy. I know a lot of us don't think that way. I know a lot of us are still in this place of it has to be super long fast or Grubhub. It has to be the cleanest refeed or pizza and cake. We have to find that middle ground every now and then. Thank you for sharing with us. Classy Rebels says, what's up, gang? Nice to see you, Classy. Just finished my 10,000 steps for the day. Congratulations on 10,000 steps. My goal is 220 pounds. I'm 258 right now. So what are we looking at here? About 40 pounds, already feeling better. Second week on carnivore. Keep us posted, Classy. Congrats on your success. So 2 weeks in, let me know. For you, 10,000 steps, is that a daily thing? Is it carnivore for the last 2 weeks plus 10,000 steps? What's your fasting protocol look like? Let me know in the comments or in chat so I can read it later. A says, hey, coach, and finally fasting fam. I'm glad I was able to rearrange my, I'm not reading A's update. I know A sent an update. I think I saw it real quick. So I'll get back to you, A. But nice of you to be here. Thanks for sharing. Let me scroll down. Maggie says, today's live damage control 101. Uh-oh. We're going to talk about it in a second. We'll talk about it in a second. Margaret says the same thing. Damage control. I guess you had a huge refeed. I did. I had a very big refeed. I'll talk about that in a little bit here. Okay. There we go. A says, today is day 529 of my wellness journey. Congrats, A, on being so far in. Fasted 16 hours and so far still on track of staying within 1,600 calories for the refeed. And I mentioned this before. A's currently in maintenance mode, but also continuing to optimize, continuing to tweak, continuing to give herself grace, even on days that don't go according to plan. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for putting that accountability out there for all of us, A. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, let me scroll down here. See if there's anyone else who shared. Sorry, everyone. If you see me looking this way and you just popped in, it's because I'm reading comments or chat. Tanya says, hey, Jerome, I hit my lowest in 2.5 years. I'm so thankful. Congrats, Tanya. I love that for you. I know Tanya has had a string of different fasts. I know had a really long dry fasting streak as well. Keep us posted, Tanya. Let us know. Congrats on being at the lowest you've been for, well, in 2.5 years. Are you planning to keep pushing lower? What's the plan moving forward? Let me know. I'm curious. Okay, everyone, I'm scrolling down here. If I missed anyone, please feel free to share again. I might not be able to get to everyone, but that's my hope. Elmada says, day 39, I lost a total of 10.6 pounds since the start. Congrats, Elmadas. I'm much better at counting my non-scale victories and learned many new things. Calories, walking, prolonging my fasts, being consistent, helping my mom do intermittent fasting. This is exactly what I'm talking about, everyone. This is why showing up every day can be so important, because you continue to learn about yourself to the point where Elmadas is even helping out with their mom to do intermittent fasting. I love that. I love that. Every day is an opportunity to learn from yourself. Every day is an opportunity to pick up a new habit, to pick up hopefully a new good habit and break an old one, or continue to chip away at a bad one. Thank you for sharing with us, Elmadas. Congrats on being 39 days in. I love that for you. Priceman5, nice to see you, says, gonna try to get back to 65-hour fasts again. Stress has regulated me to OMADs for the last week or two, and even as I read this. So many people who might be in here right now might not be able to do a prolonged fast past 24 hours. And if that's the case and you are struggling at that point, maybe what it means is then doing something like an OMAD. You still get to put some fasting under your belt. It might not be the length that you want, but you can still control the way you eat. You can still take advantage of the calories you consume. You can still work on your sleep. Priceman5, keep us posted on the 65s. Hopefully, it's good that at least from what I'm reading, my guess is maybe the stress has gotten better and that you're able to push yourself towards a longer fast. Keep us posted. Thanks for sharing, Price Man 5. Okay, let me scroll down here. Yeah, so I'm reading Shauna and Miss Peaceful One talk. So apparently, what I've heard with a portrait version of this live stream and a horizontal version, there are actually two different streams for it. I think you can access one or the other. I just don't know how it works. That's just what my software told me. So I said, I'll just try both. So it looks like you can do both. Yeah, Ian says here, seems like mobile and PC chat are separate. So I think you can do two different ones. I don't know exactly. Y'all have to, everyone here, you'll just have to keep me posted. Okay, let me scroll down. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody that I didn't read. Nando, how's it going? Says, hi, I've noticed that when I work out hard in the gym, fasting helps my body recover really fast. Is that normal? When I work out hard at the gym, I don't know if fasting typically helps me recover really fast. When you say recovers really fast, what do you mean? Do you mean you feel more energetic the next day? Because I'll tell you what, after a refeed, that's when I push the hardest at the gym. It's in terms of recovery. I mean, I notice I sleep the best after a heavy lifting session because I think my body's just ready for it then. It's not so much fasting, I think, on my end, but that's just me typically. So whether it's normal, I don't really know. This is a question I don't get asked often. For anybody here in chat, how is that for you? So when I work out hard at the gym, whether I'm fasting or not, I don't really notice a difference. All I notice in terms of difference is if I eat the night before, I push really hard in the morning, I sleep really good at night. That's all I can say. Although when I do sleep well at night, that's also because I've fasted the entire day because I don't typically eat back-to-back days. Okay, let me scroll down here. Hi, God I Am. Nice to see you. God I Am says, my update is that weight is flying off me now. I love it. Doing rolling 72s, 66 hours fasted, 6 hours of eating. That's great. 3,000 calories on fasting days. I allow 2 protein shakes and diet pop. It works for me with gym. I love seeing this because look at what God I Am is saying. God I Am is saying I'm doing rolling 72s, but even on the days that I'm completely fasted, I am having 2 protein shakes. So technically, is that a fast? This is where the nuance comes. Yes, like technically you're taking calories in, but God AM also knows, well, I am not taking anything else in. I want to make sure that I have the protein I need. I want to make sure I'm taking in enough. And at the same time, God AM is continuing to lose weight, continuing to do well at the gym, keeping calories in check. So why not, right? God AM, how are you in terms of the success, like number wise, weight wise? I don't know if you want to share, you don't have to, but I love this for you, especially when you say the weight is flying off. Obviously, you're doing something right. So keep at it. Thank you for sharing with us, God AM. I love that for you. Chris says, hi, Jerome. Why do you split accountability into accountability? It's because it doesn't fit on my thumbnail. I'm guessing that's what you're asking. So that's the only reason it's split, because I'm not putting the whole word accountability on the thumbnail. It would be too long. I guess I could put it on a whole spread one that way, but I want to show my before and after. It's just a thumbnail thing. That's all. Okay, let me scroll down here. I just want to make sure I don't miss anyone else. I think I'm pretty good at this point. So let's get into nerd stats, everyone. Let's talk about damage control. Let's talk about where I'm at and how I'm feeling. And I do have some other news to share with you all. Um, we'll see how this news goes when I share it a little later, but let's just get into the basics right now. So today is day 737 of my fasting journey. I have been at this now for over 2 years. Has it been a perfect 737 days? No, of course not. It would be crazy if it was perfect for the last 2+ years. The last 2+ years has been a mix of good and bad. If you have been with me long enough, you know that by now. You'll know that I have some really good days. I have a couple bad days, but for the most part, the good days outweigh the bad. And because of that, I've been able to keep the weight down and keep it off for an extended period of time, for over 2 years at this point. In the last 111 days, I have been performing a different slew of fasts: short ones, fast ones, short ones, long ones, as short as 16 hours, as long as 90+ hours. But in that span of time, I've also eaten at different amounts, as low as under 3,000 calories, as high as over close to 10,000 calories, a mix. But over that time, I've done a lot of ADF for the most part. I've had over 40 rounds of ADF at this point. I've had multiple days where I'll eat 5,000 calories, 7,000 calories. But in that time, I've also gotten down to the lowest weight that I've been in over 4 years. On the 6th of November, which was 5 days ago, I was down to 135.6 pounds. Now, if you look here, you'll see what's highlighted in orange, where it says, I'm currently practicing damage control. So let's talk about damage control. Let me tell you where I'm at currently and why I'm where I'm at and how I plan to deal with it. I have another slide dedicated to this, but I'm just going to give you the basics. For many of you that are here right now, you all know that I am moving out of the country. And with that happening, I have a lot of friends and family pulling at me to go out and eat, to eat things that I normally don't eat on a regular basis. I am eating back-to-back days. The snowstorm hit, and I couldn't get as many steps in as I typically do. So I have a lot of things fighting me in terms of my regular routine. And I've come to the fact that I do not think for the next couple of weeks I am going to be able to keep weight at bay or lose weight. I have pretty much come to the realization that I will probably start to put on weight for the next week or two. It's already started to happen. I've already accepted that fact. So even though I hit my lowest weight on the 6th of November at 135.6 in over 4 years, I also know I'm at a place right now where I'm going to have a hard time. Exactly, Wendy. As Wendy says, damage control. Exactly. And I see other people talking about it too. I see Ryder family talking about Thanksgiving. And this is also a really, for many of you who are here right now, how many of you, and I had this conversation with someone yesterday, and I had a conversation today as well. Think about many of us here in the States are starting to experience colder weather. We're starting to experience worse weather where it might not be possible to go outside and go for a walk or get more activity in. I nearly slipped like at least 5 times today and almost fell on the concrete. Thankfully, I didn't. But in situations like that, the amount of steps that I've been putting in are way less. I'm not getting 15,000 steps right now. Yesterday, I got 6,000 steps in. I got a third of what I normally get, a little less than a third. I've been going out to eat more. I've been thrown off. And here, I'm gonna share this with you as well. Okay. So tomorrow, I'm getting surgery tomorrow. And I'm sure this is going to come to a shock to anybody because even people who I coach and I am pretty close to, I haven't shared this with anyone. So and listen, the surgery isn't anything major. At least I don't think it is. But I have outpatient surgery tomorrow. I haven't shared this with all of you, but there are a lot of things right now that are going to kind of come at me. Moving, eating out because people are trying to take me out everywhere. The weather isn't the best. And tomorrow I have to go to get outpatient surgery. I have this thing on my knee, and it's been like this for over a decade. And there's like growth on my knee. I went to the doctor back in February and they gave me a referral, and I just haven't done it since then because it doesn't really affect me in any type of way. It's just if I am on my knee, like let's say I'm trying to do an assisted push-up on the machine, I can feel the pressure, and it's either fluid or fat in that knee. And they said it's either bursitis or some I don't know what it's called, lipidema or something. I don't know exactly, but my doctor told me that it's not a big deal, that they should be able to get that fluid out or whatever. But I don't know how that's going to affect me walking wise. I don't know how that's going to affect my working out lever. I don't know what the recovery process looks like. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know enough about it. Shauna says lipoma. Or yeah, I think I saw this one too. Lipedema, something like that. Either way, I don't know what this looks like for me tomorrow. And here's the thing. Tomorrow, before it happens, I have to talk to whoever is doing it to see what the recovery process looks like, because just FYI, everyone, like I said, I have news for you all today, and that wasn't just the news. It wasn't just the surgery, is that I will not be live streaming for probably the next 10 days. If you can put 2 and 2 together, you will understand why I will not be live streaming for the next 7 to 10 days. I would say closer to 10 days. I'm moving, everyone. And without giving exact dates, I have a lot happening. So there is going to be a period of time where I will be not live. I will try to put videos out in the meantime, but there's a big transitioning happening. I'm moving. I'm not going to have to deal with this snow anymore. Surgeries happening. I still have dinners that I have to go to and see friends with. I'm going to be eating back-to-back days. I'm going to be on an airplane for over 20 hours with multiple flights. So there's a lot happening. And this is why I talk about doing damage control, okay? Because I know I'm currently at a place where I will not be able to fast for long periods of time. I will not be able to get all the exercise I have typically been doing. I'm not going to be able to go to the gym and lift weights because I will be in a different country and I'm going to have to find something different. I don't even know. There's a lot of unknowns, right? And I'll get into it. And actually, you know what? Let's just get into that specific slide when it comes to damage control, because we might as well talk about it now. So I have something here called a step-by-step plan when it comes to damage control, okay? And you can apply this to more than just what I'm going through. You can apply this to what's happening in your life right now. You can apply this to, like what Ryder family said, having Thanksgiving coming up. And so when I talk about damage control, the number one thing that you should all be doing is that you acknowledge what happened, okay? You acknowledge what happened. What does that mean? That means that If you overate, acknowledge it, own it. If you didn't get your steps in that day, acknowledge it, own it. If you didn't fast for as long as you thought you would, acknowledge it, own it. Do not spiral into shame. Do not feel embarrassed. Do not feel guilty. Do not spiral into shame. What does that mean? What does it mean to spiral into shame? Let me give you my own personal experience about what spiraling into shame means. Jerome, back in the day, if I didn't fast for as long as I thought I would say, well, I couldn't get my 90-hour fast in. I'm just going to break now at 18 hours. And you know what? I'm not even going to hit my timer. Instead, I'm just going to order this food on Grubhub. I'm going to spend $80, $90, $100 because I don't care how much it costs, because I'm going to throw away the day. I'm going to eat all of this food, whether I'm hungry or not, and I'm going to eat more. I'm going to raid my refrigerator. I'm going to order Instacart and have them drop off a bunch of cookies and whatever else I want. And then the moment I finish eating that is where the shame kicks in. I feel shameful because I didn't fast for as long as I thought I would. I feel shameful because I just ate all of that food and now the scale is going to push itself up. And spiraling into shame is more than just that for me. Spiraling into shame meant that now that I ate this much and I gained this much weight, I feel awful. I don't like the way I look. I don't want to be seen. And not being seen then causes me to not go out and go for my walk. It causes me to not go out and go to the gym. It causes me to hide from other people and not be present in my obligations. Why? Because I'm not acknowledging what happened. Instead, I'm hiding from it. Instead, I'm pretending it didn't happen. I say this to all of you right now. I didn't even get to this point yet. My refeed 2 days ago was 8,100 calories. That was the closest estimate I could put. 8,100 calories. I ate an incredibly huge refeed 2 days ago. I'll get into that in a second, but I definitely felt a little shameful about it. I definitely felt a little guilty about it. And I also knew that hiding it wasn't going to help me whatsoever. And this is why I'm telling you all right now, I had an 8,100 calorie refeed yesterday. I ate a lot yesterday. And even though I might have felt that way, I also understand that I'm human. I eat this way. It's the hard part for me to control, and I'm okay with that. Because the only person that will be able to get myself out of that situation is me. And the more honest and transparent and accountable I can be for it, the easier it will be for me to move on and move forward. Because you know what? Think about it like this. 1 month from now, on December 11th, I'm not going to be thinking about this moment in time. On January 11th, I won't even be thinking about it at all. I might mention it and be like, hey, remember when I was having that hard time? By February 11th, that shit's going to be so far behind me. I'm going to be months into being in the Philippines already. It'll be an afterthought by that point. You have to acknowledge what happened instead of tucking it away, instead of hiding it under or sweeping it under a rug, instead of walking away from it. You have to acknowledge what happened when these moments happen, because this is how you grow. Did I get a Miss Peaceful One with a $5 super chat? Miss Peaceful One, thank you so much for your support. Miss Peaceful One with a $5 super chat says, Jerome, I'm sending you a big hug and much love. Miss Peaceful One, thank you so much. Please show yourself grace and trust that everything will work out. Praying for complete healing. I appreciate you, Miss Peaceful One. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the kind words. It means a lot to me. You know what? I'll say this too, is one of the reasons I didn't even want to bring this up is because I have no idea what the outcome is going to look like. I don't know what the recovery process looks like. I don't know if it's going to come with complications. I don't know. I'm not even sure. And actually, Miss Peaceful One, thank you again for the $5 donation. I know that if I come back up here, I know that Cap Rising said something, which I was also considering as well. So Cap Rising says here, where did it go? I'm trying to find it. I see other people sharing their thoughts about it. Please, and thank you so much for sharing all that, because I'm going to read all of this later. Cap Rising says, check with your doctor about taking a long flight after knee surgery. I'm definitely going to do that, because here's the thing. Tomorrow I have it scheduled, but if I go there tomorrow and, I let them know when I'm leaving, and if it's going to have any adverse effects, if I should even be taking a long trip, then I won't have it done. And maybe it's something that I'll schedule when I'm out in the Philippines. The surgery isn't a big deal, and you'll need to take a little time off, but you may need anticoagulants for the flight. You don't want to get a blood clot on the long flight. And these are great. I appreciate the advice. So thank you for sharing that. I mean, these are things that I'll have to consider as well during that time. So again, just FYI, so people know. Yes, tomorrow I'm having, knee surgery or a procedure. I don't think it's right. I'm not going to be put under anesthesia. They're going to be numbing the area, and then they're going to be either removing the fluid or the fat. I don't know which it is. They're going to have to figure that out. This is only what my doctor told me. He referred me and just said, go get it checked out. Sometimes it can be super quick, but we'll see tomorrow. I'll keep you all posted either way. But let's get back into damage control. So do we all understand why acknowledging, why being accountable, why being transparent is important? And I'm not saying you need to go tell everyone and your friends and your family about, oh, I didn't fast as long. Oh, I overate. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. But you need to be aware yourself. Do not run away from it. Do not, put yourself in this place where it never happened. Do not spiral into shame. The next thing that you ask here is, what triggered this? How much did I actually eat or drink? So I'm going to say this, okay? For many of you here, think about the situation you might find yourself in. I didn't fast for as long as I thought I would. You acknowledged it. You have now put yourself into a place where you're not going to spiral into shame. And then you can ask yourself, well, why? What caused this to happen? Right? Were you feeling emotional? Was it a boredom response? Were you eating because you were upset? Did you break early because you were truly hungry? Because it was Thanksgiving and it was time to eat? Ask yourself that first. And then the next thing that you really need to put into focus is, how much did you actually eat or drink? I'm not telling people here that you need to count every single calorie to the T. When I ate 8,100 calories 2 days ago, it wasn't like I was weighing everything out. I was at an all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue place or hot pot place. Later on, I ate a bunch of food at home, and I rounded a lot of those numbers off. I probably overestimated the 8,100 calories I ate. Maybe it was a little lower than that, but I don't want to underestimate it either. I want to acknowledge it. I want to actually ask myself, how much did I actually consume? And so when I did come home, I did count a lot of the processed foods I ate, because I told myself, I can at least count this. You're going to eat cookies. You're going to take tablespoons out of the peanut butter jar. At least get a recording of this, or a mental thought of how many scoops you're getting. Because yes, everyone, 2 days ago, I opened a brand new peanut butter jar and I literally took 4 big tablespoons out of that. It's probably more than 4 tablespoons, all accounted for. Just saying. Wasn't perfect, wasn't accurate, but this is me telling myself, don't hide from it. And what did I do with those tablespoons of peanut butter? I literally used my Biscoff cookies and I just smeared it with peanut butter. I ate a lot that day. I'll talk about the details in a bit. Let's go ahead and let's continue on with damage control. Small corrections are a lot more important than extreme reactions. What do I mean by this? Small corrections like, okay, I broke early. I can make a small correction and just make sure I don't eat like crazy. I'm not reacting extremely. I can make a small correction and say, hey, I get to still eat what I want. And maybe I might eat a lot more, but I want to make sure that I don't keep the refeed open all day. I want to make sure that I don't keep my eating to 2 days in a row, to 3 days in a row. Because usually the extreme reaction of breaking early or overeating is now it's time to fast for 7 days. Now it's time to fast for 2 weeks in a row. Now it's time to walk 20,000 steps for the next week every single day. Those are extreme reactions. And while I encourage people to push themselves if they want, if you are this person who does not make small corrections and instead tells yourself, well, I'm just going to eat whatever I want. I'm not going to hit the timer. I do not care about X, Y, or Z. Oh, you know what? It's Thanksgiving. Oh, you know what? It's Christmas. So I'm not going to put any effort into any thought about what I'm eating. I'm not even going to care about how I pile this plate of food or even think about how much dessert I eat, because I'm going to tell you right now, it's still important that you do. If you want to eat half of a pie, eat half of a pie, but be aware of it. When I talk about my 8,100 calorie refeed, I ate 55% of that pie, that pumpkin pie that I bought. Yes. I was actually surprised I only ate 55%, but that's because I ate so much prior to the pie. I was literally, listen, everyone, when I ate that pie on my 20% day 2 days ago, I ate the first slice and I nodded off while I ate it because it was so late. It was like 12 in the morning already, maybe 12:30. And you know me, I don't even sleep that late anymore. I woke up like 10 minutes later. I'm like, oh shit. And then I got another slice of pie. And then I fell asleep eating it. I woke up, I finished the slice, and then got another slice after. Is that the way I should eat? No, it isn't. But it doesn't happen often. I'm not beating myself up about it. I live with that fact. And as I say that, right, as we're having this conversation right now, just so we all know what happens after that happens to Jerome, I'm currently 38 hours and 17 minutes fasted because I trust the process and told myself, okay, these days don't happen often. You got invited out. You hung out with close friends who wanted to say goodbye, who wanted to give you well wishes, who wanted you to enjoy your day out. So I did. I gave myself that. No shame, no guilt, no embarrassment when it comes to that. This is something that's taken me a long time to accept. One of the things as well is sometimes it's hard for me to accept this fact when I know there's going to be critical feedback. And I've learned to tell myself, it doesn't matter what anyone says if they're going to talk shit about me. I understand the difference between somebody wishing me well and hoping for the best and doing the best I can for myself versus someone just straight up hating. And I've also realized I can't let anybody tell me otherwise because they're not in my shoes and they don't know what I go through and they don't know how big of a moment these last days have been for me. So again, I say this to all of you. It's okay if you overeat. It's okay if you don't fast for as long as you thought you would. It's okay if you don't get your steps in because there was a snowstorm and you couldn't walk outside and you couldn't get to the gym because you don't have a car to get you there. What matters is that you keep pushing forward, is that you learn from your mistakes, is that instead of reacting extremely, you make small corrections. You keep your fast as planned. If you are doing ADF and that's what you're good at, it doesn't mean that you have to now do a 72 or a 1 week fast to course correct. You can if you want. But I also understand that when people course correct in this way, it leads to, a lot of times, it can lead to all or nothing thinking. Oh, that 1 week fast that you didn't do, now you only got 2 days in, time to eat 10,000 calories again. Focus on cleaner refeeds. This is a small correction. It doesn't mean you have to eat the cleanest. It's just making a small change. Use your calories to your advantage, AKA your cardio or your strength training. Remember, just because you overate, or even if you binged, even if it came to that, you can still put those calories to work. You can take advantage of those calories you have eaten. It doesn't have to be like, well, I ate this way, so what's the point of doing anything? I ate this way, so why even? Because you all know, even for me, even after an 8,100 calorie day, I still got up and I went for a walk. I still lift heavy at the gym. These things are still important for me, because why waste it? Why waste all those calories that I took in? The last thing I have here is you turn punishment into practice. What do I mean by turning punishment into practice? When I talk about turning punishment into practice, when you have these moments and you tell yourself, now it's time to do a 1 week fast, now it's time to walk even more, now it's time to say, well, you'll never eat this again, you'll never drink this way again, you'll never, is that the real answer? By punishing yourself in this way? Or can you take these small corrections and not look at it as a punishment, but look at it as an opportunity to practice what you're doing? Practice on living a healthier life. Practice on living a happier life. So many of us are in here because we are in an all or nothing mindset. So many of us think that there is only one way to do it and no other way to manage how we're taking care of ourselves. And that all or nothing thinking, it will eventually destroy you if you keep cycling through all or nothing. I've said this before. I don't see anything wrong with giving your all. I don't see anything wrong with pushing hard. I don't see anything wrong with giving 110% or whatever ridiculous number people say. I don't see anything wrong with that. But if you find yourself doing the nothing part, if you find yourself going off the deep end and having no control, that's where we have an issue. Okay, so that's pretty much what I was going to talk about when it comes to damage control. You all now know where I'm at in my journey, how things have been for me the last couple of days. I'm also starting to realize that the next couple of days for me are not going to be easy. With however this procedure turns out tomorrow, with me traveling out of the country, with me moving into a new country, settling into a new place, flying out for 20 plus hours, with me still having dinners with family and eating back-to-back days, being stuck in a plane, just eating whatever they give me. Hopefully I won't eat everything that they give me. There's a lot. And right now I have to practice damage control. I have now come to the conclusion that yes, I have goals for the month of November. Whether I hit them or not, I will try my best. I will do the best that I can for the month of November. We'll see what it looks like on December 1st. If I will be able to still lose a pound of excess body fat. That's my hope. But I also know that I can't beat myself up too hard about it. I have to roll with whatever happens in the next couple of days and weeks. So we'll get back into nerd stats here. If you look at my last 10 refeeds, unfortunately, none of my last 10 refeeds have been under 3,000 calories. That is typically my goal. My last refeed was on November 9th, which was 2 days ago. Luckily, I fasted yesterday, but I ate over 8,000 calories. My protein was up, so I'll take that, but still, 8,000 calories was definitely a lot more than expected. What did I eat on my 8,000 calorie day? Now, I didn't record anything because I was out with friends. This was pretty much a goodbye for now as I'm leaving the country. But we went to an all-you-can-eat hot pot place. And so I ate a bunch of white rice. I ate a bunch of ribeye and brisket and just a lot of meat that I ate in the hot pot. Obviously, I ate a lot of vegetables with that, but at the same time, I also ended up having appetizers like gyoza and calamari. And then when dessert came, I had, and actually what I should just do is just read off of the list. See, here's the thing is even though it's a 20% day for me, I'm still writing down what I eat because that puts, for me, that puts accountability. That helps me pretend that I didn't forget what I ate. It reminds me that, Jerome, you're still on the clock. You still need to be accountable of what you have eaten. And that's exactly why I do this. So, where did I put this? Here we go. Because I use ChatGPT to help me calorie wise, at least give me, of course, it's not going to be perfect, right? But this is just a good way to keep myself in check. So when I was at this all you can eat place, they also had this like coconut dessert dish that I ate. I ate this like mill crepe cake. It was like a strawberry mill crepe cake. You know, those small Chinese donuts that you get at a Chinese restaurant? They're like powdered sugar. I had 9 of them. When I got home, I had 10 digestive tea biscuits. I had 3 packages of Biscoffs with 4 tablespoons of butter, or 4 tablespoons of peanut butter. I know, I think I saw someone in chat talking about PB2. I also have PB2, but I've been eating PB2 for so long that I just wanted straight up peanut butter. I also had 55% of a pumpkin pie with whipped cream. I started rummaging through the cabinets because I just wanted to eat shitty food. I found a cosmic brownie that I ate. I had chicken tenders when I got home as well because I still wanted other food. Okay, what else did I put here? I think that's it. That was it. That was 8,100 calories. And again, as I say this, should I have eaten this way? I mean, maybe not. I probably didn't need to eat as much processed food as I did, but it happened. I was already at this point of like, this all tastes good. And again, this is also part of the accountability. Part of the reason that I probably ate things like a cosmic brownie and like dug into the peanut butter jar was because I wasn't recording. And sometimes it's just that reminds me like, this is what happens when there's no accountability. Sometimes I eat more than I would have if I knew I had to record it and share with people on the internet. But it is what it is. I'll take it. Happy Bunny says. A dirty bulk. Ryder Family says, not even worried about you, Jerome. Not even a little bit. And I appreciate that because honestly, what happened after that 8,100 calorie refeed? The next day, I got myself back up, went for a walk, did what I had to do. So just to share what the numbers have looked like, you'll notice anything highlighted in red is where I gain weight after a refeed. I ended up eating back-to-back days. Remember, let's not forget that. On the 9th and the 10th, I ate back-to-back days. I haven't done that in about 3 weeks or so. So again, I have a lot going against me, but it doesn't mean I'm going to stop what I'm doing. If you notice on the right, I hit my lowest weight at 135.6 highlighted in blue. And then I found myself at 136.6, but you'll notice that the weight has pushed itself up. It pushed itself up to 141.8. And then I ate back-to-back days, pushed itself up to 144. And then since then, this morning, after fasting 30 plus hours, I'm down to 141.2. Am I a little upset? I don't know if upset's the word. If you've noticed on this screen here, you'll see a lot of blue. Anything highlighted in blue is when I broke into the 130s. I've been on a good streak of the 130s, but this morning I was at 141.2. listen, if I fasted again today all day and I weighed in tomorrow, I'm sure I would break into the 130s again. But I'm eating dinner tonight, and I'm going to be eating with friends and family in the near future as well. Right now, I'm performing damage control. I cannot beat myself up about it. I just have to keep plugging along. You're all going to see what that looks like. I mean, even as I'm going to be gone for the next week or so, I will be as transparent as I can be. In my last 53 refeeds, my average refeed time has been about the same. Is that actually true? Was it 426 both times? Either way, I'll have to check. But around 4.5 hours is my average refeed time. My calories per refeed really pushed itself up now to over 4,000 because I had 8,100 the last time. Average protein per refeed was a little over 200. It's more than just fasting. In the last 111 days, I am still averaging over 15,000 steps a day. Look at yesterday's step count, 6,000 steps. Part of that was because of the snowstorm. So even yesterday, okay, let's share yesterday's step count, right? Yesterday, my step count was 6,000. When I woke up in the morning, it was snowing. I woke up in the morning, it was snowing. I said, I'm not going to the office today. I'm just going to work from home. It was the first time I've worked from home since I got this office. And I wasn't even going to go walk at all yesterday because of the snowstorm. But I also ate a bunch of calories the day before. So at around, I think 11 or 12 in the afternoon or so, 11 in the morning or 12 in the afternoon, it stopped. It stopped snowing. I put my snow boots on and I said, just walk at least half an hour. So I did in the slippery ice, snow, whatever you want to call it. I did it. Did I have to? No. Many people would even say to themselves, well, what's the point of even going if I can't get my normal 45-minute walk, my normal 1-hour walk? And this is where I tell you, it's so important that you still do what you can for yourself. So even though it was a half-hour walk, I said, this is better than nothing. And even later that day, I was just walking around the house because I was like, might as well get some steps in. Even if I look goofy right now, it's better than nothing. And so this is me trying to work my other weight loss levers because I will always have to. Wendy with a $5 super chat. Wendy, thank you for your continued support. Wendy says, life be life in Jerome. I completely agree, Wendy. Every once in a while, you have to let yourself go. Perfection is a hope, a dream, an illusion. Imperfect consistency is the way. Wendy, this is so well said. I couldn't have said it better than the way you've just put this out. And I like that too. Every once in a while, you have to let yourself go. How many of us in here right now? I mean, unless you're tied up into like a tight knot, right? I think every once in a while, it's okay to give yourself these moments. Because I'll tell you what, when I was out with friends that night and I knew this is going to be the last time that I see them for a while, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to enjoy myself. It doesn't mean that I was just going to eat and not record, like not have a mental capture of what I was eating, because I ate whatever I wanted. I didn't restrict myself in any type of way, but I was still putting some awareness into what I was doing. But I truly believe that every once in a while, you have to give yourself some grace. You have to let yourself go because you know that you're going to have to get back on the ball eventually. And sometimes you have to put yourself in an uncomfortable position. Sometimes you're going to just have to, right? Like, I think sometimes we forget. So like on both sides of this topic, right? Sometimes we have to let ourselves go. And then sometimes we have to be uncomfortable. Sometimes we have to have a little discomfort. Sometimes we have to do hard things. And for me, most of the time, I have to do hard things. I have to be uncomfortable. I've accepted the fact that there will be days where I'm hungry and there's nothing I can do about it. And because I just know that, because I know that sometimes, even right now, as I'm 36 or however many hours fasted, I know that it's just going to happen. It's okay. We're humans. We go through this. Being hungry is just our body's response of saying, hey, I don't want you to die. I'm just reminding you, you have to eat. And when I think of it in that way, I'm just like, yeah, I'm good, brain. I'm good, body. You have excess fat on you. You just had your DEXA scan done. You're 17.5%. You still can afford to lose a little more. So, Wendy, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you for the support. Let me get back into the nerd stats here. So, as I had my 20% day 2 days ago where I ate over 8,000 calories, that was a 20% day for me. But look at how often these 20% days happen. Actually, that calorie count is incorrect. If I'm going to pull up my nerd stats or my own spreadsheet here so I can give you a better number of where that's at. Oh shit, that moved up even way more. Well, I practice an 80-20 rule. 80% of the time I do what I should be doing. I'm fasting, I'm keeping my calories in check, I'm getting my steps in, so on and so forth. In the last 111 days, I have had 95 80% days. But then 2 days ago, I had a 20% day where I ate 8,000 plus calories. On average, that is over 6,000 calories. Don't mind that 5,900. I forgot to update that, but I ate over 8,000 calories that day. But look at how often I have these 20% days. 16 over the last 111 days. What does that mean? That means that overall, I have more good days than bad days. Overall, I am doing the shit I'm supposed to be doing than not. And for me, those 20% days are days like going to a wedding, going on vacation, going out with friends when they invite you to have dinner because they'll be like, Jerome, I don't know when I'm going to see you next. And I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to see you either. Well, I kind of do, but that's a different story. So, and yes, should I have eaten all of the foods after when I got home? Probably not. I should have just kept it to the chicken tenders, maybe have a couple of the snacks, maybe not eat 55% of a pumpkin pie, but also I have no regrets at all. I use the calories to my advantage. I will continue doing that. I've put in so much work over the last 2 years. I haven't kept this weight off for 2 years for nothing. I know what I'm doing. I'm not beating myself up about it. I like to say this because I hope for all of you who are watching this right now, that when you have a bad day, that when you overeat, that when you don't fast for as long as you thought you would have, that you don't beat yourself up either. You tell yourself, okay, today's a day where I gave myself a treat. I indulged a little bit, but it doesn't have to be like this every day. I can get myself back into the swing of things. Now, I know what some people might be thinking as well. You might be watching this and you might be saying to yourself, but Jerome, that's the hard part. I cannot get back into a regular eating rhythm, fasting rhythm after I eat bad one day. You might be saying to yourself, but yes, Jerome, that's exactly the problem. When I eat this way, even one time, every single time after just goes crazy. And this is where I tell you, yes, because it's a habit. You've been used to doing that. You have to break yourself out of that habit. Will it happen tomorrow? Probably not. But it can happen. You will break it over time by continuing to practice. But Jerome, what does that mean? Does that mean I'm just going to eat shitty every day until I don't? In essence, yeah. But also, why does every bad, shitty eating day have to be as bad as the day before? Why can't every day that pushes on be a little better than the last? And it doesn't mean that it will always progressively get better, but you have to put the effort into it. You have to remember to hit your timer. Even when you tell yourself, what's the point of hitting a timer if I'm just going to eat like shit? What's the point of even thinking about calories if I'm going to eat like shit that entire day? The whole point is so that you can start putting small things into practice. Remember, this is about course correcting Small corrections have a much bigger impact than extreme reactions. You can push hard if you want, but don't forget about also putting small corrections into play by doing small things for yourself that will help your good, healthy habits. My November goal, at least I thought was going to be super easy, was to just put myself at a 3,500 calorie deficit for the entire month. That's literally just putting myself at a 117 calorie deficit per day for the next 30 days. For someone like me, this is a walk in the park. But with everything happening right now for the month of November, I'm starting to realize that it is not. If you look at the very first week of November, I was already off to a bad start. On the 1st of November, I had a dinner with friends and family. That was a 20% day. I ate 5,500 calories. And if you see anything highlighted in red, that means I was off my calorie pace for the day. I eventually caught back up because I did a 65-hour fast. Why did I do a 65-hour fast? Because I knew that more 20% days were coming. This was me trying to keep myself balanced. But you'll see here, week number 2, if you look at the 9th of November, I had 8,100 calories in. And that pushed my total calories in up to 25,000 and put me at a caloric surplus of over 4,000. So I fasted yesterday and I'm still at a caloric surplus because I ate so many calories. And here's the thing, I'm eating again today. I will be fasting tomorrow if I can help it. But if not, I will continue filling that spreadsheet out. I am at a caloric surplus right now. I've started to come to the realization that I might not be able to hit my goal this month. But what does that mean? If I don't hit my goal this month, does that mean I should completely give up? Does that mean I should eat 8,000 calories every single day now for the rest of the month? Or does that mean I should still put practice into what I'm doing? Does that mean I should still go for a walk if I can? Does that mean just because I'm having whatever procedure on my knee, if that means that I can't walk for the next 2 days, does that mean I should just order Grubhub all day? Does that mean I should just give up completely and say, hey, everyone, when I come to the Philippines and I live stream again, I'll tell you we're all back on day 1? No, that's ridiculous. Why would I do that? Why would I stop my journey? Why would I not continue working on what I'm doing for myself today? Okay. I think those are all my nerd stats for the day. It's time to do fit check, everyone. Today's fit check is a day I really don't want to do fit check. I do feel quite bloated. Remember, 2 days ago, I came off of an 8,000 calorie refeed. And yes, I am now at least 24 plus hours fasted. So I do feel leaner. I still get to wear very small clothes, which I'm very thankful for. It's also a good reminder that these small clothes that I wear will not fit properly if I keep having 8,000 calorie days. Now, why do I do fit check? Why do I stand back here and show you what I look like? Because this is a way for me to stay transparent and accountable. This is a way for me to not go overboard and just eat like shit day in and day out, because I have to stand up here and show you. And even if I feel bloated, I want to make sure that I am accountable for it. So whether I'm feeling lean or whether I'm feeling bloated like I am right now, breaking into the 140s again, it doesn't matter. I want to make sure I'm accountable in that way. I have been overweight my entire life. You see people in chat throwing up the fit check emoji. Even as a child, I was already overweight. In my adolescent years, in my 20s, in my 30s, and even in my 40s. I have not only been obese or overweight, but morbidly obese as well. I have worn as big as a XXL shirt, as big as 38 waist pants, almost to the brink of wearing size 40 pants. And you're talking to somebody who is short. I'm only 5'3". So wearing something like that is just does not fit properly. So today I get to show you what I look like wearing boys' clothes. I'm currently wearing a boys extra large. I'm currently wearing boys size 14 pants. And even after eating 8,000 calories and even after feeling a little bit bloated, I can still fit into this. And I feel like I still look relatively okay. And I know that because I've been putting a lot of work in. I know that one 8,000 calorie day isn't going to define how I look overall. So we'll go ahead and we'll do fit check. I'll just say this really quick. I show all of those photos so you understand that I have been like this my entire life. And now I have lost this weight and kept it off naturally, not through medication, not through diet pills, not through Wegovy or Ozempic, not through weight loss surgery, not through HRT, TRT, not through any kind of hormone therapy, replacement therapy, testosterone therapy, nothing like that. Completely natural. So we'll go ahead. We'll do fit check. Oh, and actually, you know what's really interesting, everyone, is this. You're all. It's not even that squeaky today. Why is it? Do you realize, everyone, that this is the last time that you will hear this squeaky chair? Because this squeaky chair will not be coming with me to the Philippines. So say goodbye to Mr. Squeaks. Was that its name? I don't know. Anyway, I see the squeaky emoji coming up there. We'll go ahead. We'll do fit check. Again, like I said, this is a front shot. I have these winter shoes on. They're ridiculously big on me, but they're warm, so I'll take it. Here's a front shot. Again, I am feeling a little bloated. I did have an 8,000 calorie refeed 2 days ago. Here is a side shot, right? Rear, side. That's it. So, yep. Again, I feel a bit bloated, but it's nothing awful. Yes, I have loose skin here. There is excess fat, but it's not as bad as it used to be. I also forgot to say this, right? Like, as I bring this down, that's pretty much fit check, everyone. Okay, so before I forget, when I talk about medication or weight loss surgery or something like Ozempic, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. I'm not saying that you should give up your medication. I'm not saying that you shouldn't consider weight loss surgery. I just share this because I think it's really important that if you are maybe considering these things and you haven't tried something like naturally losing the weight by being accountable and working on your good habits, maybe this is where you do something like this first before you turn to something like that. But again, you do you. I mean, I'll do me, you do you, but I'm just giving you an option if you want to do something different in that way. And this might be a good segue for this. We're going to do Q&A right now. So please feel free to ask questions. I already see people asking questions. I see my autophagy members freaking out about tomorrow, but I'm going to get into that in a second. So please feel free to ask questions. But in the meantime, if you are maybe considering doing something naturally in this way, maybe you want to be accountable, maybe you want to work on your habits, and maybe you need a little extra help, whether it comes to fasting, weight loss, or accountability, you can go to finallyfasting.com. You can book a one-on-one session with me. We can talk game plan. We can talk strategy. We can figure out what your goals look like. I work as an accountability coach, but I like to tell people, really, I'm an accountability partner. We're doing this together. What I have to teach and share with you all is not rocket science. Many of us know this. We all know what we need to do. We all know that fasting will drop weight off. We know that taking care of your cardio health and strength training is good for you. We know that good sleep promotes good recovery, promotes strength building, muscle retention. But maybe what's missing is the accountability piece. Maybe what's missing is working on your good, healthy habits. Finallyfasting.com, if that's something that you might be interested in. I will mention, though, that if you go to the website now, the calendar is pretty much, it's completely unavailable for the month of November at this point because, like I said, I will be transitioning into a new country. But at the same time, if you look at December has very limited availability. That will change as I transition and I figure out what my schedule looks like. But for right now, there's just a small amount of time frame available for people who are in the States. Right now, I think that availability only shows from 8 p.m. to 12 in the morning, which is, I believe, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Philippines. So that's why it works for me, at least for now there. But if that's something that might interest you and that time works, take a look. Otherwise, that will change in the future. So with that being said, if any of you want to help support me in a different way, you can also go to the link of the description in this live stream and be part of the Finally Fasting fam. What is that? Well, it is a YouTube membership. And if you join, it's just a way to support me. It's a way to say thanks or whatever. I don't know how else to put it, but it does come with perks. You will get this emoji next to your name. Your name changes color. You get to use custom emoji as well, like you've seen people use here in chat. You will get your name on the intros of these live streams. I do apologize. I have not been able to update that because I've just been so incredibly busy with everything going on. But if you join the higher tier group, you will be able to be part of our Wednesday live streams. I do not live stream publicly to everybody on Wednesdays anymore. Wednesdays are reserved for my autophagy group because I don't really want to live stream twice a day. That's just a lot. And just FYI, I'm sure people have asked already. Yes, we will have one final live stream tomorrow. So for my Wednesday people, we will live stream tomorrow. I'm just putting it out there. But the live stream will be earlier in the day. It will probably be around this time, if not earlier tomorrow. That is the best I can do because I am shutting this office down tomorrow. Just FYI, everyone. Like I said, I'm going to be gone for the next 7 to 10 days. And that is because I will be moving out of the country within that time frame. So for people who are wondering, yes, we will be live streaming tomorrow, but it will be done earlier in the day. I want to make sure I cover everything I need to for my Finally Fasting fam in that regard. But if that's something you're interested in, if you want to see what a Wednesday live stream looks like, you can go to the link in the description of this live stream. It is very different than what we're doing today. That is where we all are doing a group coaching session together. Other people will come on camera or will chat or be on audio. So if that's something you're interested in, you can take a look and check that out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to answer as many questions as I can before we take a hiatus. I know even as I say that, I feel a little sad, but remember, I'll be back. I will be back. And I haven't figured out the time frames for it yet, but we might play around with different time frames. I want to see if we can at least live stream at least 3 times a week, if not more, but we'll have to wait until I come back. And I'll look at the calendar so I can at least give a day of when I will be back at the very latest. So let me go ahead. I'll scroll up here and just see if there are any other questions. I don't know how high I have to scroll up, but I will probably just do it around the fit check part here. I like that many of you are saying goodbye to Mr. Squeaks. So yeah, and like Al asks, is the next autophagy stream in 2 weeks? It isn't. So we will have a live stream tomorrow, Al. So just putting it out there. Thank you all for the kind words. That means a lot to me. I know I feel bloated, and I know sometimes I might be a little harsh on how I feel. I have friends who say the same thing, and they're like, "Why do you say that about yourself? Why do you?" They're like, you look the same. You look fine." But sometimes I can't help it. I think it might be a body dysmorphia thing. These are some issues I still have to work on for myself. Tanya asks, "Do you think you're gonna ever move back?" That's a good question. I think the first thing that I'll just say to myself is I have to see how the Philippines is. So I have to answer that first. I have to answer that question first before I can answer this question. But the thing is, I will be back like here. I'll be back in the States. I have family who's here. I'll be back in like even Toronto. I have family who's there. So I will be back. It's just permanently, that's a different question. So Deja just joined the Finally Fasting fam. Deja, thank you. Oops. Thank you so much for your support. For all my Finally Fasting fam members, can we throw some F's up for Deja? Deja, just FYI, and I forgot to add this as well, people who are part of the Autophagy live stream, if that's what you did pick, you do get access to all the older Autophagy live streams so you could see what they look like. They have changed over time. They're a lot different than what they used to be. It's a very like ever-changing group or live stream, but like I'm trying to refine that every single time. So Deja, thank you for being part of the Finally Fasting fam. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much, Deja. Welcome. Oops, didn't mean to do that. There we go. It says that you did it twice, so I don't know if you upgraded from one to the other, but either way, thank you. And Letty, I didn't even see this. Letty with a $2 super chat. Letty says, "We will miss you." Letty, I won't be gone for long. It'll only be for about a week or a week and a half. So Letty, thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate you, but I will miss you all as well, at least for that short time frame. Thank you, Letty, for the support. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, let me scroll back up here. Hey, Eric, nice to see you. Welcome. Hopefully you made it back safely. I'm assuming you did. Okay, let me scroll back up. Did I miss? I feel like I've lost. It feels like I've lost my place here. That's okay. I will see what questions. Maggie says, "Will we still be filling out the spreadsheet for the Autophagy group?" Yes, I will have that all available so that you won't miss a beat. So don't worry about that, Maggie. Okay. Now I'm in my right place. Hey, Skippy, are you asking me this or are you asking someone else this? But hey, Skippy says, "Previously I was doing 96 hours, but had to stop because of diarrhea. I was wondering if you knew what was happening." Hey, Skippy, this is a very common issue for many people who fast for an extended period of time or a prolonged amount of time. Fortunately for me, I do not have this issue. Many other people do, fasting for this long, especially if the refeed is coming on quick. If you see the way I eat, I know there are probably a lot of people who cannot eat the way I do after fasting for that long. Again, I don't know why I do that, or I don't know how I can eat that way and have no issues. I like to tell people I'm just built differently. But for you, hey, Skippy, what that might mean for you is if you enjoy doing 96s, it just might mean when it's time to refeed, you have to go at it slowly. Other people have talked about doing something just like bone broth. Other people have talked about just keeping the foods clean. Maybe it's just fruit at first, or just vegetables or very lean meat. But it might be something like that before you then step into something that's a little more either dirty or more complex. And I'm not saying that you have to wait a day. It might be different for other people, but sometimes people say, just have something light at the beginning, wait half an hour, and then try something else. This is something that you'll probably have to do with trial and error, but I think this is also something that other people can share in chat. So for anyone in chat who sees this and wants to chime in, please do so. Almada says, this format is really a problem. Please, Jerome, reconsider it. So here's the thing. I don't know how it works. I cannot see how it works. But what I was told is, and I think other people have said this as well, is it shows up in two different formats. You can get the horizontal version or the portrait version. But my question to all of you who are watching this right now on YouTube, when you watch this in portrait, right? When you're watching this on your phone, and you're watching it in portrait mode, does it show up in a different way? Like, can you not access it the old way? I need people to tell me. People in chat, tell me if you're able to figure it out or if you're able to change it, because if you can't chat the same way you used to, then I will take a look at it. And it's all I have to do is just change a button on the thing. So I appreciate you bringing that up though, because I want to make sure people's experience is the way that, works for them. I love reading this. So God I Am says, Jerome, to answer your question, I'm down 14 pounds in 6 days. Congrats on being 14 pounds down. I only have 40 pounds to lose. God I Am, I would love if you kept us posted on your journey. One of the things I love seeing is when people tell me what their journey looks like and what they're up to. I love if they can be accountable and keep it up, because you know what, God I Am, if I can help you get to where you need to be, if this community is helpful to get you to where you need to be, show up. God I Am says, I take the protein shakes on fasting days to stop myself from being dogmatic because it was a real issue for me. I appreciate you sharing this, God I Am. So if anybody is a little confused, when God I Am is doing rolling 72s, if I remember correctly, when God I Am is fasting for 3 days, on God I Am's fasted days, God I Am is having a protein shake. Now, some of you might look at that and be like, well, that's not fasting. That's not whatever. You can label it whatever you want to. But the way I look at it, God I Am is still fasting in a way that works for God I Am. And when God I Am talks about being dogmatic, that's exactly what I'm saying. There is always going to be that group of people that say, that's not the way you do it. That's cheating. Listen, if your goal is to lose weight on the scale, if your goal is to help yourself be happier and healthier, do what works for you. If it means that you have to have a protein shake because you're lifting and you want to make sure you're retaining that muscle, do it. If it means you have to have a small amount of calories, do it. We do not have to follow rules who made these rules up in the first place? Who's the leader behind this? Why does there have to be a rule book for it? Why not just do what works for you? If you are improving your health and happiness, what does it matter what somebody else says? Just because there's a whole group of people saying this is the only way you should do it, I'll tell you right now, I hate that shit. I hate it. I can't stand it because you do not live in my shoes. You don't go what I go through. Because I want to have a Coke Zero one day means you're going to judge me or shame me for it. Just because I want to have a black iced coffee on my fasted day means that you get to think you're better than me? Like, fuck off. No, never. Do what works for you. It also doesn't mean, even when God I Am says this, it doesn't mean that God I Am has to have a protein shake every single day. If maybe at one point God I Am decides, hey, I've been finding good success on upping my protein on my refeed days and I'm okay here, it doesn't always have to be that way. Change, tweak, optimize, right? That's the whole point. All we're doing is the same thing. We're all just trying to be happier and healthier. Yes, I understand the autophagy part. You want to keep it super clean. You want to get all of those results that you hear about. Then by all means, you want to keep it water. You want to do whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes. I would also love to see a lot more proof on a lot of this as well. I don't have a lot of the science behind it, but that would probably encourage me to even fast cleaner on some of the days where I'm not doing just water. But thank you for sharing with us, God I Am. I know sometimes I go off on that, but it's just sometimes I have an issue when people think they're better than others. And I'm just like, dude, like we're all just trying to come to the same conclusion here. Okay. Steve says, which foods really sent you back for a few days? It's not the food so much, Steve. I mean, if I were to pick foods, it's definitely the ultra processed foods, like eating cookies, eating pie, eating a pack of peanut M&Ms. I mean, these are obvious. These, when you say send me back, it's not that it sends me back because I have a couple cookies or I eat a pack of peanut M&Ms. It's because I can eat so much of them because they're so nutritionally empty. They're not nutrient dense foods. I mean, we all know this. You can grab a bag of Doritos, a package of Oreos, a whatever, cornbread even, or, you know, something that's just like super carby. You could eat that all day and it packs on the calories, has no nutrient in it, it doesn't have a lot of nutrients in it. And then it ends up not satiating you. And then you overeat. So really that's what does it for me. The foods that don't send me back a few days are my one ingredient foods, my whole foods, fruits, vegetables, meat, things like that. So that's probably the more easy way I can answer that. Thanks, Tara. I appreciate that. Entered this live late. Wishing you the best on your move, Jerome. We'll miss you and your live streams for the time you'll be gone. I'll miss you all too. And remember, just like I said, I won't be gone for long. It'll be about a week and a half at the most. So during that time, I really hope that I will be trying to put videos out. I'm trying to like build a library so that like I can still have videos on a maybe kind of frequent basis before I do come back. So even as I put those videos out, I would love to still have you guys in the comments share about what you're doing, how you're feeling, because like I said, it's not like they go missed. Sometimes I hope you think when you're posting comments, I hope you think they don't go out in the void because I literally read everything. I'm on comments like a hawk because it's helpful for me. It's also a reminder to me that I'm not doing this by myself. So just like, and you know, it's funny because I look at Eric talking here, made it back, breaking my 65 today. New low for years from the scale today. Congrats, Eric. We'll update my reply in the comments. And I was smiling at that because Eric posts a lot. Eric posts his progress in the comments of my live streams. You see it all the time. I'm sure you see EC. When you see EC posting, that's Eric on there. And I love it because this is somebody who continues to show up for himself. And you know, even as I see that, it's like, I know Eric posts a lot. Why? Because I read everything. I literally do. I mean, I care that much. And you know, I hope you all see the genuineness of that. I count on all of you. I count on our community to help each other. You all help me as well. I know a lot of people thank me, but it really does go both ways. Okay, so Writer Family says portrait opens the chat under the video. It shows up as two different live streams. I go to the quote unquote live page and I can choose between two lives, both happening at the same time. Please, is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? I just need people to let me know. And if you have both options, does that mean that you can get the old option back? Can I leave it like this so that everybody can still do what they need to do? Oh, there seem to be two different chats. I've got both tabs open. I can't see Eric on the normal chat, only mobile. Oh, okay. I don't like this. If people can't see each other in the chat, that makes it a lot harder. Yeah. So Almada says that, yes, I can't access the chat as before. Messages don't show. So I had to be on okay. Well, that answers the question for me. I want all of you to be able to talk to each other. That sucks. I I know it opened it up as two separate, but I don't want that. I want everybody to still be able to talk to each other. So next time we will keep it so everyone on YouTube can talk to each other. That's important for me. Thank you for letting me know, everyone. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, that's helpful. That's helpful. All right. Thanks, everyone. I'm just reading the other comments on here. Randall says, hey, Jerome, we'll miss you. God bless you. Thanks for everything. Hope to see you sooner than later. I'll miss you all. And remember, you all can still keep in touch with each other. As I continue to post videos, hopefully you can still keep in touch in that way. I have big things coming up soon, and hopefully I can launch that sooner rather than later. When I am in the Philippines, I feel like I will have a little more time, even though I did just add more hours onto my workday with a new client, or with an existing client, but hopefully we can get a lot of these other things moving. Yeah, Ketovore, that's probably the same thing. It's a little harder to read the chat and it cuts out more. Are you saying the stream cuts out more? Or are you saying you're missing chats? Because maybe that's what it is too. Murphy family says, thank you for your work. You're very welcome. I've recommended your channel to other fasters in my life. You've encouraged me to do longer rolling fasts. I'm glad that you were able to do that. And thank you for the support. Thank you for recommending me to other people. That means a lot to me. Thank you, Murphy family. Congrats on your success. Okay, I'm scrolling down here. Thanks, Cap Rising. Cap Rising says, wishing you a smooth surgery and recovery. Not having general anesthesia will make it easier. That's good to know, and a safe flight. I guess we'll see tomorrow when I go in to get that procedure or surgery or whatever it is done, and I'll ask about the recovery process. If they tell me that it's going to affect my plane ride when I leave, then I won't do it, but I guess we'll see. Okay. I think that's it. Ketovore says, have a safe and good trip. Thank you. Is this a long-term move or more temporary? It's both. I'm going to make a bigger decision, I think, when I'm there. But I will be there for quite some time, Ketovore. So it's not like I'm just going out there for a month or anything like that. I'm going to be out there for quite some time. So you'll all get more news as time goes on. So thank you all. Thank you all. Yeah, bad. I see. Bad thing. Chats are not the same. Okay, I got it, everyone. I'm going to make sure we're all together next time because I know how important it is to be together. Trust me, I'm with you. I completely agree with you all. We're going to do it all together. Reflect says, link to video for beginning from start. I think you just have to wait. I think it takes a couple hours to process, so I'm not exactly sure, Reflect. Thank you for being here, though. Appreciate you. John Money says, I keep trying to fast, but by day 3, Daddy needs his Big Mac. Just some general advice here. So I get it. I mean, I want to have my pumpkin pie too. I want to have my cheesecake. I want to have my quote unquote Big Mac. But John Money, first of all, by day 3, I mean, if you want to have a Big Mac after a 3-day fast, I don't know if it's the worst thing in the world either, unless you're eating a bunch of shit on top of it. But my question for most people as well is, does it have to be a Big Mac? Does it have to be that specific food? Does it have to be something ultra processed from the start? Could it be at least a better option before it gets to that point? That's all I'm saying. And if the answer to that is no, Daddy needs his Big Mac, well, that's more a you thing, right? I will say, though, it doesn't mean that it can't change in the future. So even Elle says, have the Big Mac every 3 days. I mean, again, if it's just a Big Mac and not 3 Big Macs and a 20-piece nugget and 3 McFlurries, maybe it's not the worst thing in the world. Reflect says, not this video, I mean fasting. You have so many videos, I don't know where to begin. Reflect, go to my playlist and then look for the playlist called Fasting for Beginners. If that is helpful for you, that might just give you a start on what you need when it comes to fasting. So, okay. Writer family says you're going to pick up an accent and start hard stopping your consonants. Listen, I already have the Filipino accent down. I mean, I literally grew up with a Filipino family my whole life. So I know what it's like to have that accent. I mean, even when I speak Tagalog, I try to put the accent in there. So, okay, everyone, that's it for today. Really quick, I just want to thank all of you for the support, the continued support. Yes, I know we will not be live streaming for the next week, week and a half, but I will be back. Remember, I understand that it is hard when you do not have accountability. I understand that these live streams are super important for many of you because it keeps you in check. But I am going to remind you, this is also a time for you to work on other things outside of fasting. If you are having a hard time with accountability, find accountability. Find a way to be accountable. Comment in chat and be like, Jerome, I'm just trying to show accountability where I can. This is what's going on. This is where I'm at. I will encourage other people. If you see people talking in the comments, reply to them. Be like, I hear you. I see you. I know what you're going through. I'm going through the same thing. Support each other. You want to be a community? Show that support in that way. I will try to post what I can when I can. Again, I will not be live streaming for the next 7 to 10 days. As I look at my calendar here, just so I can maybe give you an idea, the next time we will probably go live will be either on, I would say, the 20th or the 21st of November. Okay. So in about 9 or 10 days, it won't be that long. My challenge to you, for anyone who's watching this now, my challenge to you is, it's not how long you can fast for. It's not how clean you can eat. It's not how many steps you can put in the next 10 days, but can you show up for yourself every single day from tomorrow until the next time I live stream? And that's the question I'll be asking you when we come back is, did you show up for yourself? Did you continue to put accountability where it mattered? And I know that might not seem like a big ask or a big challenge, but prove it to me. Can you continue to hit a timer? Can you continue to show up for yourself even on the bad days? That is important. Can you build imperfect consistency up to become a habit? It doesn't have to be all or nothing. You are not alone on your journey. We are doing this together. Even with all the shit I have to go through for the next week and a half, I'm not giving up. I'm going to document it. You will see that as the days go by. All right, everyone. That's it for me today. Before I go, I want to give again a huge thanks to Mike for the generous $20 super chat, to Miss Peaceful One, to Wendy, to Letty, and to Deja for being part of the Finally Fasting fam. Thank you for your extra support today. Thank you to my current Finally Fasting fam, I guess is the way I'll put it. Thank you for always supporting me in that way. And thank you to my everyday people who are here, who are kind and supportive and are willing to help each other out. Thank you for building such a great community. Remember, this community is going nowhere. We're just taking a small break. You all saw it coming. You all knew this was coming. You had to have known this was coming. It's not like I wasn't going to be moving. I've been talking about it now for months. So it's going to be a small break. I will be back in a completely new background, a new environment. It's a new chapter, everyone. It doesn't mean I'm restarting my journey. It doesn't mean that you should either. My challenge to you from now until we talk again is, can you show up for yourself for the next however many days? You don't have to do anything crazy. You don't have to push a super long fast and talk. You can if you want. All I'm asking you for, though, is, can you show up for yourself? Can you show up for yourself without turning away? Without saying to yourself, I'm going to start on Monday? Without saying to yourself, I'm going to start when Jerome live streams again? Can you do that for me? That's my ask to you. Because I'll tell you what, by the time you and I talk again, I can promise you that I won't be starting over. that every day I will have put practice into what I'm doing. And I'll share all of that with you the next time we talk. All right, everyone. That's all I got. I'm going to do my obligatory wave. This is crazy to say, but the next time, except for people who are going to be seeing me tomorrow on the Wednesday, but for others, the next time you will see me live, I will be on the other side of the world. I was about to say country, but that's not far enough. I will be on the other side of the world. So until then, everyone, I will talk to you all soon. You take care. Have a good one. Bye.